Yo, 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 shalom, shalom, shalom. Hey, before we get started, you know how we gotta go before we get started. Want to get all the praises, the glory, and the honor unto the Most High Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Kakwadash. I also want to give double honors to the elders and the brothers that's out here laboring in this word and truth and its sincerity, doing everything to make it call it and election sure. Shalom to y'all and y'all families. I also want to say shalom to all the Akim, Wagwatam out there receiving, learning, believing, and keeping the faith. You true, sincere, dedicated believers out there. Shalom to y'all and y'all families as well. And I'm the brother Malak. I'm a one. And Lord Wood is lesson edifying for the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel and the nation of Israel only. And today's lesson we're going into just giving some proper perspective and balance, understanding, for brothers who may be in compromising positions around the so-called holiday season. And why am I saying that? Because actually, you know what? First and foremost, the holiday season, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, and any other, so-called holiday that your country, reverences these any of these other pagan days that your country reveres. And before I get started, I want to say this outright first and foremost. I'm not telling you to adhere to any of these holidays. I'm going to say that again. I am not telling you to adhere to any of these holidays. I'm just here to give proper perspective to some brothers who may be in compromising positions. That way you don't feel condemned in your spirit. If you may have to, adhere to some of the tenets of some of these holidays, because you may be in a position, like I said, you may be in a compromising position. You may live with your parents, for example, and your parents are on you about going to eat Christmas dinner and going to eat Thanksgiving dinner and going to see your grandma and granddad and your uncle and your cousins, and they want you to see them, and it's all this that, and the third, man. I'm just here to give proper perspective for that, because you got a lot of brothers on here who are sitting these, I call them going off police. Oh, this is you going off, you do, you going off, you this, you going off, you do that. Hey, brother, this truth is not about telling people when they're going off. It's about giving people proper understanding and wisdom, and using the scriptures to apply proper wisdom and understanding to your life. Now in doing that, sometimes brothers are going off and you got to correct them. You know, sometimes that is the case. Brothers are going off, you got to correct them, you got to steer them in the right direction. But this truth is not about banging the gavel over someone's head and telling them, oh, you doing this, and if you keep doing this, you ain't gonna make it. The Most High ain't dealing with you, man. Cut all that shit out, man. And honestly, when you see brothers doing that, you got to analyze, why are they doing so? Because if we really want to go into it, let's go into these laws, and let's see which law you broke today. Because we all sin, we all fall short, and we all break laws every single day. And that's James 2. And let's get it real quick. Let's go in the book of James real quick. As James, the second chapter tells us, oops, James 2 and 10, for whosoever shall keep the whole law and yet offend one point, he is guilty of all. So if you break one point of the law, you break one precept, you break one law, you guilty of all. You guilty of all, man. You're guilty of all. So I'm just here to give proper perspective and balance, for brothers who may be in some more compromising positions around this time of the year. And shout out to the Mashayak Ara Zakah said, "Call Allah Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Bashim Kakwadash Barakatah Shalom Akia a Shalom to you as well, Akia. And the water for coming through. When and listening to the lesson." Said Khan, that's facts, absolutely, man. And this is just applying proper wisdom and understanding, man. You got to analyze at times, when brothers are beating a gavel, over your head about do this. Hey, brother, we're in the time of grace right now. Now we are exiting grace and entering judgment, but why do I say we're in the time of grace? Let's go to Hebrews, the 9th chapter. We're just gonna get some I won't call them basic, but just some, you know, understanding, just some proper understanding, some staples. That's a better word, some staple precepts to give us proper understanding for the time period that we in. Because honestly, man, when you try to sit there and bang your gavel over someone's head, man, you diminishing the power of Yahweh Shai. Let's go to Hebrews 9 and 15. And for this cause, he is the mediator, going into Yahweh Shai. And for this cause, he is the mediator of the New Testament, that by means of death, for the redemption of the transgressions, that we were under the first testament. What's the first testament? The law, statutes, and commandments. Now, I'm not saying the law, statutes, and commandments are done away with. I ain't saying that. I ain't saying that at all. We are very much still, under the the law, statutes, and commandments, man. We still got to keep those. But why do we have Yahweh Shai? To cover us where we fall short, man. So if you got to go celebrate a Thanksgiving, if you got to go to a Thanksgiving dinner, you got to go to a Christmas dinner. Hey, brother, don't beat yourself up, man. Don't beat yourself up to the point where you think that the Most High is not dealing with you. You think, the Spirit is not on you. Why would the Most High have me in this position? If he wanted me to be of his elect, all that type of shit, man. When you start saying those things, that's a direct access. That's a direct gateway. That's a one-way ticket to fall out the truth. Because now you don't see the need to even be in the truth no more, because you think the Most High ain't dealing with you. That's why the number one thing we got to have in this truth is faith. We got to have faith the Most High is dealing with us. We don't know 100%. You know what I'm saying? We don't know if we are the elect, because ultimately the Most High is only dealing with the elect. In terms of righteousness. Now, he deals with everyone, you know what I'm saying, in terms of he controls everything, but in terms of righteousness, he only dealing with the elect. We don't know if we're that number yet. Lord will, we are. But you got to have faith that the Most High is dealing with you in righteousness, man. That's what's going to keep you going in this truth. As this society gets deeper and deeper and deeper into wickedness, hope in that the Most High is dealing with you in righteousness is what's going to keep you going. So when brothers sit and try to bang a gavel over your head, telling you, you going off, the Most High not dealing with you. The Most High is going to destroy you. Because you may be in a position where, you live with your folks, so you're under their roof. You got to adhere to their ways, man. It is what it is, So you're going to tell a brother who's doing his very best to keep the law, statutes, commandments, he's doing his very best to do the work. He may be out there on the highways and byways, man. And if he ain't there, maybe he got a YouTube channel. Or if he ain't doing that, maybe he, was telling people about the word. He's he's also keeping the law, statutes, commandments to the best of his ability. You're gonna tell a brother who fits in any of those categories that he's wicked, and that the Most High not dealing with him, because he may be in a compromising position because he lives with his family. See, that's the danger in saying things like that. Because now you're putting that spirit on brothers. Oh man, maybe the Most High's not dealing with me like I thought he was. Hey man, maybe the Father's really not dealing with me like that. Maybe if he was really dealing with me, he wouldn't have me in this position. Brother, life happens, man. We all come from our parents' roof to living on our own. And then some brothers have a family, or kids or whatever brothers got, But it starts from, being under your parents' roof, man. And while you're with your parents, hey, it is what it is, man. And that's why we got Yahweh Shai. To pick up the pieces where we fall short. Like it says, for the redemption of the transgressions that were under the first testament, which is the law. So where we fall short in the law, Yahweh Shai picks up the pieces, man. He's our mediator to the Father. He's our what's the word I'm looking for? Our mercy seat, our propitiation, which goes into our mercy seat to the Father, man. Telling the Father, hey, Father, he's in this position, but he's doing this, and this. Father's like, okay. The Father listens to Yahweh Shai. That's his direct son, man. So this the proper understanding we got to get before we delve into this on a deeper level. But I just wanted to get that real quick, because it says that they which are called. Let me finish this off. It says they which are called might receive the promise of eternal inheritance. So to get eternal inheritance, you got to be perfect. Now I'm not saying to break the law. I'm not telling you to celebrate or adhere to any of these so-called holidays, man. I ain't telling you to do it. But if you're in a compromising position via your particular lifestyle, your particular living situation, does that mean you can't inherit eternal life? Does that mean the Most High is not dealing with you? Does that mean you're going off? No, and I'm gonna go into why that's the case. There's a difference between putting your spirit into something and adhering to all the celebratory aspects and being one with something, as opposed to just performing an act or being involved. I'd rather say being involved in an act because of your certain life circumstance or your living situation. There's a difference in that, man. But both can, but I mean, not both, but just because you're in a particular position doesn't mean you can't get eternal inheritance, man, because Yahweh Shai is coming to redeem us of the transgressions, you know, of our transgressions via the First Testament, which is the laws, statutes, commandments given to Moses. None of us can keep that in perfectness, man. None of us. So no one is in a position to tell another brother you are going off by, now I'm not saying that brothers don't need correction. Of course, we all need correction at times, all of us. But none of us are in a position where we can beat brothers over the head with the Most High is not dealing with you. Brother, you don't know that. I don't know that. None of us know that. And that's just the proper understanding I'm trying to get in this particular live stream. But before we continue, I want to say shalom to the bro. Shalom to the bro, Mr. Sanjan. Shalom with the water for coming through. The How Bashim Yahushua, Bakatha. Much love as always, brother, always coming through and supporting. So much love to you, Mashayak Arazakah says Ecclesiastes 7:16. Be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldest thou destroy thyself? Khan. What? And I want to get into that, because it says, "Be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. Why should thou destroy thyself?" And I want to say this: the wisdom, understanding, and knowledge that we get from the Most High via the Scriptures, it gives us wisdom and understanding and knowledge. That's and of course fearing Him that gives us our wisdom. That's the foundation of our wisdom. But what is wisdom for? Let's go into Ecclesiastes 7, because I want to get a point in verse 19 on that. I put Ecclesiastes 17. I meant 7. I'm tripping. Actually, before we do that real quick, you know what? I'm gonna just go to this, and I'll get that one later. But I want to go back to that. This Ecclesiastes 7, and let's get the precept that the brother put up. Be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldst thou destroy thyself? Be not over much wicked, neither be thou foolish. Why shouldst thou die before thy time? So, hey, man, if your spirit is in these so-called holidays, man, that's going off. I'll say that's going off. If your spirit is intertwined with this, you're not acknowledging the Most High. You're not cognizant of what's going on. You don't have no wisdom and understanding when dealing with certain situations. You're going off. And I'm not saying this to justify keeping holidays. I'm not saying that. Because, you got brothers. Oh, man, you telling brothers to keep holidays, man. You telling brothers to celebrate holidays. I'm not saying that. I'm saying right here, if your spirit is intertwined with these things, then that's going off, man. You could say that's being wicked, because you're not acknowledging the Most High first and foremost. Especially if you're not keeping our holy days as well. If you're keeping these holidays and you're not keeping our holy days, yes, brother, that's wicked. That's wicked. And if that's the case, you are going to die before your time. You're going to be destroyed when Yahweh Shai comes back with the missiles and them chariots, the host of heavens, the archangels, starting with Michael the archangel and the rest. You're going to be destroyed because you're a sinner in the Most High's eyes. You're wicked in the Most High's eyes because you're not acknowledging Him and acknowledging the things of this society. But if a brother is acknowledging the Most High, he's keeping the high holy days, and he just may be in a compromising position with his family. He may live with his mom and dad. They on his ass. You need to see your family. You need to go see your auntie and uncle and your grandma and your cousins and your granddad. You know, they haven't seen you in a long time, and you live with them, and you need them for a roof over your head. You know, is that brother wicked? I would say not, but that's up to individual interpretation. And I want to get this real quick in the book of Hebrews. Oh shoot, my computer is fucked up. All right, this is the book of Hebrews, chapter 13, and verse 7. Remember them which have rule over you, who have spoken unto you the word of the Most High, whose faith follow, considering the end of their conversation. Actually, that's important too, but that's not the one I wanted. It was 17. I went to 7. I've done that twice in this live stream. Went to 7 when there should be 17. I'm tripping. But Hebrews 13 is Salakia for that. Hebrews 13, even that's a great precept as well. Hebrews 13 and 17. Obey them that have rule over you, and submit yourselves, for they watch for your souls, as they that must give account, that they may do it with joy and not with grief, for that is unprofitable for you. Now, of course, let's take the meat from the bones with this. Of course, we know that your parents who are not in the truth are not watching after your soul. You know what I'm saying? Because they're really your adversary. At the end of the day, it is what it is. So they're not watching over your soul, but they do have rule over you in that particular situation, because you depend on them for I'll take this off real quick. And shalom to the bro, Randy, another brother that's always supporting. Shalom, Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Bakathar to you. But back what? Oh yeah, they have rule over you, man. You depend on them for stability in terms of a roof over your head. You depend on you may contribute. You may pay your portion of the bills. You may pay rent, or you may take care of the things you gotta take care of. You get your food, you take care of your car, your phone, all that kind of stuff, man. You pay your portion of the bills. But at the end of the day, you depend on them for a roof over your head. You depend on them for a place to lay your head at night. It is what it is. So they have rule over you in that aspect. So it's not profitable to always be at odds with them, man. You telling them, oh, you ain't gonna make it, you wicked, you gonna get destroyed. I'm a man of the Most High. The Most High gonna kill you. Man, that's a one-way ticket to your parents kicking you out the house and you living on the street. Now, if that's the case for you, then hey, it is what it is. You make the best out of that situation. And sometimes that may just be the Most High, wanting to refine your faith, try you a little bit, just put you in a little uncomfortable situation to build you up for these last days. But if you can avoid that situation, avoid it, by using proper prudence and understanding. That's why our Lord said, Yahweh Shah said, agree quickly with thine adversary. If your parents are against you in this truth, they are your adversary. So applying this scripture right here, it says, obey them that have rule over you, will be profitable to you in that situation, especially if it's something that you're not going off in doing so. Now, if they're telling you to go commit adultery, they're telling you to go eat swine, they're telling you to go deal with another woman, or go deal with a woman on her period. You may be talking to your dad, y'all chopping it up and whatnot. He's saying, hey, ain't nothing wrong with doing that, man. Don't do that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's explicitly stated in the law not to do so. Don't do that shit, man. That would be foolish. But if it's something that you're not really going off and doing so, but it just may be better for you not to do. But hey, if it is what it is. If you can avoid it, avoid it. If you can't, hey, you can't. That's what I'm getting to at the end of the day. If you can forsake it completely, forsake it completely. But if you can't, don't feel condemned because you can't. Don't feel condemned to the point where you think the Most High is no longer dealing with you, to the point where you think, you're not, the Most High don't want you in the truth. All that, you hear brothers say all kinds of stuff, man. And like I said, you got to analyze those statements when brothers bring those points up. Are they doing it out of genuine truth and sincerity? And that's the point I want to go back to the precept the brother Mashiach brought in Ecclesiastes 7. Let's go back to that. Ecclesiastes 7:16. Be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. Why should thou destroy thyself? So, and I want to apply this right here in this context. If you're a brother who's always banging the gavel of righteousness, you're the authority figure of righteousness in the earth, man. Which really, if you're trying to do that, man, you're trying to prop yourself, up there where your house shy is, man. But that's a whole nother story. You believe that you're the authority of righteousness. You're the going off police. Hey, man, when you're doing things like that, you could assist in destroying other brothers, man. You could be destroying other brothers, man. You telling him he's going off constantly. You telling him that he's not in the truth. You telling him that he's wicked and the Most High is going to destroy him. That brother might start thinking, man, maybe the Most High really not dealing with me, man. Man, maybe the Most High is, maybe I'm not of the elect, man. Now you're causing that brother to condemn himself. Now, of course, we all need correction, and we all need brothers in our corner that will tell us when we're going off, but not in an over righteous sense, man. Not in a like I said, banging the gavel of righteousness sense, man. Not something to beat your head or to beat over your head, man. It's for correction, to give proper understanding and guidance to help brothers be pushed go in the right direction, to keep walking on that straight and narrow path, man. Not to overly condemn someone and beat someone over the head, especially when you go off as well. like that's the thing right there. We all go off. So it's like, if you're trying to be the authority figure, the author of righteousness, you could be causing other brothers to feel pricked in their spirit and condemned in their spirit, especially when it's something that, like I said, not in the traditional sense. Because like I said, all of us brothers, we need brothers in our corner that's gonna tell us when we going off. It's gonna tell us when we falling short. That's what a true brother is. A true brother corrects you even when it may not be pleasant to you, man. That's a true friend, a true brother. But a true brother doesn't do that in an over righteous sense, where he's trying to fit his own understanding into the scriptures and take on that overly zealous spirit to where he lacks discernment. That's the thing about being a extreme zealot. Zeal is important. Zeal is extremely important. We all need zeal in this truth. We all do. But zeal has to be, countered with proper discernment, man. Or else, it just becomes what's what I'm looking for. Or else, like, it just becomes partial. You just become a very partial individual, man. You can't properly use discernment, prudence, context of the scriptures. And in doing so, especially other brothers look up to you. They value what you have to say. In doing so, you can cause brothers to destroy themselves. That's what being over righteous does. That's why the scriptures warn us against it. But in the same sense, don't be wicked. So don't tell brothers, oh, go put your spirit and your heart into Thanksgiving. Go put your spirit and your heart into Christmas. Go give gifts and, sit there and sing carols at the Christmas tree and decorate the ornaments and all that shit, man. But if it just comes down to eating a damn Thanksgiving dinner, eating a Christmas dinner, it ain't that big of a fucking deal, man. That's being over righteous, man. Especially like I said, when brothers are in compromising positions during this time. You live with your family, they want you to do this, that, and the third. Like I said, you depend on them for a roof over your head. So it will behoove you, it will be wise. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying it would be wise to not constantly try to make an adversary out of people that you need. Let's be real. You need them when you live with them. It will be wise to not constantly make an adversary of them, you know, by giving off that I'm better than you perspective. Now, at the end of the day, you know, yeah, you are, you know what I'm saying? If you're of the elect and they're not of the elect, you know, yeah, you have more understanding and knowledge, you have more wisdom, but that's not to seek out our own glory though. Let's go to Proverbs the 25th chapter. Then we're gonna go back to Ecclesiastes 7, but I want to get this real quick. Proverbs 25 and 27. It is not good to eat much honey. So for men to search their own glory is not glory. Searching your own glory is not glory, man. Propping yourself up so that you can talk down on others, so that you can um you know speak above others. It's not glory, man. Our glory is gonna come when the Most High sends His Son back. He beams us up on the chariots. You know, makes us His battle axes and weapons of war. But kings and priests on the earth. You know, and that's glory and righteousness. And the law, statutes, commandments are in our inward parts. Meaning what? We have proper understanding and balance of how to deal with people. You know, well, that's one of the ways. That's one of the aspects of it. You know, we're perfect. So when we have higher level understanding and wisdom and whatnot, we don't use it to appear better than others, you know. But on this side, where we're not perfect, where we don't have the laws, statutes, commandments in our inward parts, if you're not careful, it can be used, or you could use it to appear better than other people. Because quite frankly, man, we don't know who's of the elect right now. So it's not to do that. Not like I said, if you know there's levels to this. I'm not saying you don't have more understanding and knowledge. I'm just saying, you know, don't try to flex on your parents, man. You know, don't do that, man. If they're telling you need to go eat Thanksgiving dinner, you know, your mom made dinner, you don't be locked up in your damn room eating you know, Cheerios, you know, eating oatmeal, eating a banana, you know, when your mom is telling you to eat Thanksgiving, just eat the food, man. It's not that big of a deal. I'm not, like I said, I'm not telling you to celebrate the day, but you just eat the food. It's not that big of a deal, especially if you know you're in a position where you're in a compromising position where you know you understand, you know your situation, you know your parents and whatnot. You know they may be vindictive and this and the third, man. It's not wise, you know, to make an enemy out of people that you need. That's what I'm trying to say. But let's go back to Ecclesiastes 7 real quick. Like I said, I got to reiterate this point throughout this video. I'm not telling you to celebrate holidays. That's at the end of the day, it's your individual decision. I'm just trying to give proper understanding for brothers who may be in a compromising position, that if you do choose, because it still is a choice in the day, if you do choose to go eat your Thanksgiving dinner with your family, you're not going off by doing so. You're not you're not, you know, you're not a man of the Most High. You're not, the Most High is still dealing with you. There's all this, that, and the third, man. Because you got things that brothers say on YouTube, you know, where you got to provide, you know, you got to provide proper balance to these statements that some of these brothers be making. But let's go down to verse 19. It says, Ecclesiastes 7:19. Wisdom strengtheneth the wise more than 10 mighty men which are in the city. And I wanted to get that right there because the wisdom is the foundation, and understand the wisdom is the foundation of this truth, right? So when we have this wisdom, you know, we're able to understand what is the truth and what is a lie, you know, and we also have the proper defense, you know, when all hell breaks loose as well. Because we got to remember we're in a spiritual war, man. So the wisdom and understanding, like I said, is not to beat brothers over the head with, to flex your understanding and knowledge. Now, sometimes you got to do that when a brother gets out of pocket. Sometimes when a brother talks slick and try to act like he know what he's talking about, when he just popping off at the mouth, hey man, you gotta show him what's up. It is what it is. But just in a general context, it's not meant for that, man. It's to give us a proper defense, which you can read in verse 12 of this chapter. It's to give us a proper defense all the whims of the devil in this society, especially in these last days that we in. You know, because we are in a spiritual war. You know, as it says in the book of Ephesians, the 6th chapter. You know, and also that spiritual war is going to become physical when all hell breaks loose. You know, and we're going to need the wisdom and the understanding and knowledge, like it says in Isaiah 33:6, for us to be stable mentally and spiritually in that time period. That's what this wisdom is for. Because like I said, it gives you a proper understanding of what is the truth and what is a lie. So with that being said, now let's go to the main precept. Let's go to 1 Corinthians, the 8th chapter. We're gonna break down why you're not going off if you eat some damn Thanksgiving dinner, man. I'm not telling you to do it. I'm not telling you to do it. I'm just telling you, I'm just giving the proper understanding that you're not going off if you're in a compromising position and you choose to do so. This is I'm gonna start at the 3rd verse. 1 Corinthians 8:3. If any man love the Most High, the same is known of him. As concerning, therefore, the eating of those things that are offered in sacrifice unto idols, we know that an idol is nothing in the world, and that there is none other God but one. Now, I want to get that because what's today? So-called Thanksgiving. Now we understand and we know that the turkey, the cranberry sauce, the stuff, and all that has a symbolic representation. You know what I'm saying? All that, you know, it's not just turkey, man. It's not just cranberry sauce. It all had a meaning as to why those things were eaten or why those things are still eaten, you know, amongst the higher ups and the higher circles. You know, of course, the masses people don't know, but the everyday so-called citizens don't know. But, you know, amongst the elites, they understand, they know. But even back then, when it was when Thanksgiving first came into effect, was originated, the turkey, the stuffing, the all the cranberry, all that kind of stuff, you know, there's a reason for why those things were eaten, man. You know, so I'm using this precept to give an understanding and a context as to, yes, these things are food sacrificed on the idols, man. Your Christmas dinner, you know, we all know the gods, you know, Tammuz and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? The guy, the pagan god structure, the father god, the mother goddess, and the son god, and the son of the so-called son of God, son of the sun god. You know, Tammuz. We all, you know what that goes back to. You know what I'm saying? The Saturnalia as well in ancient Rome. You know, so yes, these foods are eaten in commemoration to idols. Yes, they are. But what does the Apostle Paul say about that, man? This is 1 Corinthians 1:4. As concerning, therefore, the eating of those things that are sacrificed unto idols, we know that an idol is nothing in the world, that there is none other God but one. You know? So if you got that, we just went to Ecclesiastes 7:19. If you got that wisdom and that understanding, I'm gonna just go to it real quick again, just to I'll get it exactly. I'm gonna just bring it out of my Bible right here. Ecclesiastes 7:19. Wisdom strengtheneth the more. Wisdom strengtheneth the wise more than 10 mighty men which are in the city. So that wisdom gives you strength and understanding. And what, like the 10 mighty men in the city, what does that represent? A defense force, you know, an army, you know. And what are we in? We're in a spiritual war right now. So what do you need? Your army. What is your army right now? Let's go to Ephesians, the 5th chapter. I'm gonna just read it because I don't want to keep going back and forth on Blue Letter Bible. Because what is our army right now, man? What is our weapons or our defense force right now? Actually, I'm gonna go to it on here. We go to Ephesians, the 6th chapter. It's Ephesians 6. Let's go down to 14. Let's start at 10. It says, the armor of God. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in power of his might. Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Now, what is the armor of the Most High, man? The armor of the Most High is this wisdom. So when we go back to Ecclesiastes, the 7th chapter, it says, wisdom strengtheneth the wise more than 10 mighty men which are in the city. What does the 10 mighty men represent? A defense force. But wisdom is even more powerful than that, man. So that's the armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. And who was the devil? The devil is Esau, man. The deceiver. He's the devil. You know? So that this wisdom is our armor. And what? This spiritual war that goes into verse 12 goes into the spiritual war, man. You know, that we're currently in right now, where every tenet of this society is trying to get your spirit in your soul, man. The different wicked philosophies they impart on the youth, you know, the different societal practices they want people to accept, different wicked devices they got coming down, you know, and that they want to put in your body. You know, it's all to get your soul and get your spirit, man. So when the deception through the media, the manipulation, through the media, the energy sucking they use the energy sucking from the masses. They get via these ritualistic events that go on in society, you know, for a bigger agenda at the end. It's all, you know, trying to get your soul and you get your spirit, man. And so what counters that? This wisdom and understanding. That's why it says it's strengthened the wise more than 10 mighty men. That wisdom is a bigger defense force than 10 mighty men. So let's go back to 1 Corinthians, the 8th chapter now. Because this is wisdom, to know that an idol is nothing in the world, and there is none other God but one. There's no other power but one. His name is Yahweh. So us understanding that, we know that these little fucking holidays mean fucking nothing, man. They're pagan. They mean shit, man. You know. So let's get deeper into the chapter and see why, you know, this is being said. So we got the understanding that there's only one power. You know, there's none other power but one. You know, and that all the idols and the things eaten and sacrificed unto these idols are nothing, man. They mean nothing. 1 Corinthians 8:5. But though there be but though there be that are called gods, whether in heaven or in earth, as there be gods many and lords many. So, you know, there's plenty of different gods or so-called gods. You know, there's plenty of different images and God structures. You know, there's plenty of different structures. You know, you got Baal, you got Osiris, you got Haru, you know, you got even the mother goddess structure as well. You know, Semiramis, Sekhmet, you know, all these different Minerva, all these different godlike structures, man. You know what I'm saying? That people venerate and reverence, man. You know, Pan, you know, or the so-called Baphomet, the goat god. You got all these different, and even people on yourself, people who worship themselves, people who worship the image of Esau, as you know, when I mean, a white Jesus. That's what I mean, white Jesus. You know, so you got all different kinds of images, man. But we understand through the wisdom and the understanding from Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, we know that there's only one true God. All these other gods in the world, man. We know there's only one true God. You know, all these different cultures of people who have the same pagan godlike structure, whether that be um, ancient Egypt, ancient Babylonia, ancient Greece, ancient Rome. They all have the same pagan, you know, structure or pagan gods, Trinity structure, which is where you get the Trinity in the Bible from. Not in the Bible, but the way that people twist the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Because the Trinity is not in the Bible. That's where you get the Trinity concept. So you got all different godlike concepts stretched across all different kinds of societies and cultures and whatnot. But we know through the scriptures there's only one true God. So verse 6. But to us there is but one God, the Father. So that cuts the Trinity right there, but that's a whole nother conversation. But to us there's only one God, the Father, whose name is Yahweh, of whom are all things, and we in him, and one Lord, Yahweh Shah Mashiach, by whom all are all things, and we by him. Howbeit there is not in every man that knowledge. So every man don't know that, man. You know, every man doesn't have, in fact, most men don't have that understanding. You know? So it says, for howbeit there is not in every man that knowledge. So I want to emphasize this. So the fact that you got that knowledge, the fact that you got that understanding, that showed the Most High dealing with you. That show, doesn't it say in John the 15th chapter that Yahweh Shah called us out the world? So we got to be called out the world into this truth, man, so that we can be chosen. The Most High is the one who, you know, through his son calls us out the world, man. So we had the opportunity to gain eternal life. So you didn't just come in this truth on your own, man. None of us just came in this truth by our own will, man. We all came in this truth because the Most High brought, you know, through his son Yahweh Shah, wanted us to get this knowledge and understanding. So the fact that we got that knowledge that he is the only God, he's the only power, he's the one that he's the one true God and one true power. You know, the fact that we have that understanding, that's a blessing. So to sit here and say that a brother is not in the truth or a brother is wicked because he may just have to eat a Thanksgiving dinner because, you know, he's living at home with his family and whatnot, you know, hey man, that's not wise to say. You know, like I said earlier, you know, you're causing that other brother to destroy himself. Now he's condemning his spirit and second guessing himself in the truth. I'm not saying you caused it, but you influenced that action. But continuing on, for some with conscience of the idol unto this hour eat it as a thing offered unto an idol. So that's our family, man. That's our family members, our friends in the world. You know, you tell them what it is, you tell them the pagan nature, and they don't give a fuck. They still go do it, man. They don't care, and they eat it in sacrifice unto. They eat it in remembrance of that idol, man. You know, they're sitting over. They thanking quote unquote God for the meal. Really, they thanking the Father God. You know, when I say the Father, I mean the Son God. You're not the God, not the Father Yahweh. they're thinking damn Baal for that. You know, Nimrod. That's what they're thinking when they eat that meal, especially around Christmas time. They're thinking Tammuz for that meal. They're not thinking Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. You know, so that's what they're about. And it says, and their conscience being weak is defiled. Verse 8. They're defiled individuals, man, because they're weak. Because they can't accept that this holiday means the so-called holiday means nothing. They can't accept that, you know, this is a pagan day, that everything you've been taught is a lie. They're weak in that way. Because in order to really embrace the truth, that takes a true strong mindset, you know, to be in this truth, to get this understanding and knowledge, to accept that this is the way of life, to accept that everything you've been taught is a lie. That takes a lot of strength, man, because you got to constantly be refining yourself. You got to constantly be checking yourself, looking within, self-examining. I think that takes a lot of strength. Most people, when they look within, they want to deflect and they want to deflect and want to cast off whatever they want to cast off blame and judgment from them. You know, and that's people that fall in this category right here. You know, but us, we're different. Verse 8. But meat condemneth us not to the Most High. It says, but meat condemneth us not to the Most High. Meat can't condemn you, man. And this is not talking about being able to eat anything you want. Christians sit there and say, "Oh, well, see, it says meat condemneth you, so you can eat swine." No, it's talking about food, sacrificing to idols. Now, I'm not now at these so-called holidays. You do got swine at these so-called holidays. You know, you got the Thanksgiving ham, the Christmas ham. You know, you shouldn't be eating that. You shouldn't be eating that, man. It's not an excuse. Yo, well, see, yeah, so I can go eat Thanksgiving ham. No, 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 no. An excuse, it ain't an excuse to go do that, man. It ain't. We still got to keep the dietary law to the best of our ability, of course. Of course, we understand. We know that they put pork in damn water bottles and you know plastic containers and all that. You know, we know that. But you know, to the best of our ability, if you know that swine, don't eat the fucking swine, man. Come on, man. It says, but meat condemneth us not to the Most High. For neither if we eat are we better, neither if we eat not are we worse. So it don't matter if you eat it or not, man. It don't make you better to eat it. I mean, it don't make you better to not eat it. It don't make you better. I mean, it don't make you worse if you eat it, man. Because at the end of the day, it's just meat. It's just food. That's all it is. Your spirit is not intertwined with it. You know, your spirit is not in these days. You know, your spirit is not down with the program. You know, it's not like you eating and you saying thanks to Haru. You say you praying in the name of Jesus. You know, it's not like you doing that. You know, you still acknowledging Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah is your God, is your Lord, your power. It's just some food, man. That's all it is. You know, like I said, you got, certain extremely zealous brothers who would say otherwise, but I would say to you, if that's you, so are your words more important than the Apostle Paul? I mean, that's what you're saying. I'm just gonna be real. That's what you're saying. Oh no, brother, it's still going off. You know, you still ain't gonna make it if you do that. Are your words more important than the Apostle Paul? The answer is an emphatic no. So that's the point I'm trying to get at, is that none of us are in the authority seat to sit here and tell brothers that they're going off when what they're doing is not something the scriptures say is going off. If you're eating food sacrificed if you're eating food, that eating food that is sacrificed unto idols, and you understand and you know that to not put your spirit in this, you understand what idol is on the third, you know what I'm saying? You just eating the food. It is you're just eating the food, man. Now the best situation is to not even get involved in it at all. That's what I personally do. But I'm in a position where I don't have people beating my head over people, beating my head, beating the gavel, and beating my head over to keep these holidays, man. You know what I'm saying? But if you're not in that position, like I said, brother, don't go making adversaries. Now, if you could do it, say you live with your family and you tell them, "Hey, I don't keep these holidays. It is what it is." I would advise you not to do so as well. You break down why. You give them the structure of the holy days. You know what I'm saying? And why they should be keeping these days and not keeping these days. And they don't care, then hey, that's on them, man. And if they don't care that you that they don't try to always be at you, just being vindictive, being very adversarial of you, then all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah for that. But not every brother's in that position, man. Some brothers' parents are extremely vindictive. They take things extremely personally, and you could be seen as an adversary, man. I mean, you already are an adversary, but they could be just trying to completely just make your life a living hell. So I'm saying, why put yourself in that position if what you're doing is not going off anyway? And also too, why constantly try to exhort to brothers that they're going off by doing this when they're not going off? Like I said, now it's one thing to sit here and say, don't do this, but if you choose to do it, hey, just understand this, that, and the third. But it's another thing to just say you're going off and just leave it at that. Like I said, when you're extreme, when you pride yourself in being a zealot, and not being well studied and things of that nature, then that causes you to not be able to apply proper discernment when needed to, when needed so. That causes you to not be able to apply proper context when you just got that banging over the head zeal, man, which is important, which is extremely important. But like I said, zeal has to be countered with discernment. Like I said, or else you just become extremely partial individual, and you can't provide proper wisdom, counsel to brothers because you just look at things from a black and white point of view. This is right, this is wrong because this is this. When brother, it's deeper than that, and brothers need a deeper than that answer when it comes to dealing with everyday life situations because we are not in a time period where we can administer our laws in full swing and administer our laws in full swing and have brothers and have everyone of our nation adhering to them, man, and also give out proper judgment for breaking them, man. And also too, if we're gonna be real with ourselves, we don't keep the laws in full swing ourselves. We can't. It's impossible. And if you could, you wouldn't need Yahweh Shai. And we all need Yahweh Shai. Like I said before I end this video, I'm not telling you to break any laws. I'm not telling you to celebrate holidays. I'm just giving proper understanding for brothers who may be in compromising positions around this time of the year. Young brothers, you got some brothers that's in high school, got some brothers that's in college, brothers that's in your 20s. You live at home with your family. I mean, hell, however old you are, man. When you live at home with your family, they got rule over you, man. You live at home with your parents, they got rule over you. I mean, you should always honor your parents, but especially when you live in their house, you gotta go by their rules, man. It is what it is. Now, brothers should be working to get themselves up out of that situation, but we all know we know what time it is in the world and whatnot. Who knows what this place is gonna look like November of 2022, assuming the society is even around in November of 2022. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to get proper understanding in regards to that, and I'm gonna answer some of these questions before I leave. What Randy said, Khan. Hey, Khan, brother. Everything that was said in this video, to the best of my ability, just try to provide a proper understanding. Herod and Parisia says, "What should you do if the school or job you attend requires the Pope due to the mandate? Then you need to quit." I'm just gonna be flat out with you, bro. You need to quit, and that's all I gotta say on that. If you need to quit, and well, you need to quit that job, and you'll be looking. If you think that your job is, on the verge of acquiring it, then be looking for your exit. Be planning your exit strategy while you're at the job. You're looking for another job. That way, you can leave that job and go to another job. You know what I'm saying? But in terms of weaseling your way through it and whatnot, me personally, I wouldn't advise that whole fake poke PASSPORT. I wouldn't advise that. But you are your own man. You do what you want to do. But I wouldn't advise that though. I would just advise you to quit and be looking for another job. While you're still at that job, be looking for another job that you can go to on the day that this particular job requires it. That's what I would do if I were you. In terms of school, try to do online classes, but oftentimes that's not a solution. Sometimes that's not a solution either. If that's the case, you just got to quit school. I mean, it is what it is. There's plenty of options in terms of I don't know what you are into, but there's plenty of options that and routes that you can go to still be able to make money without traditional education. The brother Messiah said, "Shalom to all y'all bros. Hey, shalom, bro. Yahweh Bashim Shabbat." And I've seen Messiah on some other brothers' YouTube channels, and brothers will come on here and say, brothers say, which I did the first time as well. So I understand. Your brother say, "Oh, but you need to change it. Don't call yourself Messiah." He's clarified that's actually his name, and I know I've heard that name before in my life as well with the other brothers. So you got brothers out there whose names actually are Messiah. That's like the name that their parents gave them and whatnot. So Yeah, I just want to put that out there as well for some brothers that may think, oh, this dude call himself Messiah. He's saying he Yahweh Shah. No, that's he's clarified. That's actually his name. Like I said, I've known brothers, in the world and whatnot, whose name has been Messiah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I understand that. But with that, I just want to give all the praises, the glory, and the honor unto Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah Bashim Kakwadash. And the water for all you brothers that came through and tuned into this live stream. Till next time, this has been proper perspective, for dealing with proper perspective for brothers in compromising positions around this holiday season. But remember, man, the Most High is giving you this understanding and knowledge. He's dealing with you, man. He's chastising you at times. He's dealing with you, as it says in Hebrews the 12th chapter. You know, he's called you out the world, as it says in John the 15th chapter. He's dealing with you. So don't sit here and listen to brothers who are telling you that you going off and you wicked because you may be in a position where you gotta eat a Thanksgiving dinner, man. We just read in 1 Corinthians the 8th chapter. It's just food. It ain't that big of a deal. It doesn't condemn you. You know what I'm saying? So before I go, want to say the brother Mashiach, I was Zakah, call all Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, Rakak Wadash, Bakatha to you as well, Art. And the water for the support, bro. The water for that. So with that, want to say Bakatha Yahweh, Bakatha Yahweh Shai, and Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bakathum to all you brothers that's out here listening, learning, and watching. And Shalom, keep the faith.